So as the champion, anybody matched up against Weili, I'm taking Weili. But I do believe that Weili could lose to some of the fighters in the division. And I made a prediction for this fight already years ago as a fantasy matchup. And I took Weili. I'm going to still take Weili. Too much inactivity from Suarez. And of course, Weili is more complete than Suarez. But Weili she's been challenged on the ground. Her wrestling, grappling has been challenged before, and it could happen again. Suarez is better as a wrestler, better at getting her opponents down than Rose. And yet Rose was able to get Weili down and keep her down. I think having Suarez on top of you is a lot different than having Rose on top of you. That said, this is a different Weili that we're looking at today than the one who fought Rose. You remember her fight against Joanna, the first fight. She had a hard time getting Joanna down. Right? Joanna was like a tree that wouldn't move. But in the rematch, she was tossing Joanna around, kept her on the ground, and beating her up on the ground. Weili's made improvements in her wrestling, in her grappling, jiu-jitsu. So, all the more reason why I'm taking Weili in this fight. If Suarez wins, do y'all think she'll be able to stay healthy enough to fight consistently at least twice a year? I don't know. But that's something that I'd be worried about. Right? That's something to think about. Because she has been very inactive here recently. Let's take a look at her record. I believe the last time she fought was the end of last year. September, October, somewhere, maybe August. Right? And she's 33. Getting up there in age. This is not the time where you should be inactive. You should be your most active around this time because you're getting close to retirement time. Yeah, August 5th was her last fight of last year. And so that's the beginning of August. So count August as a month of inactivity. You may as well. August, September, October, November, December. August, September, October, November, December. 5 months. Add on another 7 from 2024. No fights at all in 2024. 17 months. They fight in February. So it'll be 19 months, almost 2 years out of the cage for Suarez when she steps in there against Weili Zhang. Okay, that's just more incentive for me to take Weili Zhang. But we'll see. I'm excited. Definitely excited about the fight. I appreciate this fight more than Weili against Verna right now. But we'll see. Another thing. Let's say Suarez wins the belt. Do y'all know Suarez has not really fought any current strawweights? So pretty much any fight for her in the strawweight division is a new fight for us, the fans. Who has Suarez fought in the division? Jan, Verna, Andrade, the only one. And they fought at 125, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it? May have been at 115. But that's the only fighter she's fought in the division. Lemos, Dern, Lucindo, Ribas, Rodriguez, Ricci. One fighter. So, depending on how long she fights, Suarez has fights, interesting fights in her future, whether she's champion or not. Weili has actually, though, fought a few current strawweights. Jan, she fought Andrade, she fought Lemos. The only new fight for Weili is Verna, Suarez, and possibly Lucindo. I don't think Mackenzie Dern is getting a shot. And actually, Dern is about to fight Amanda Ribas. Right? Dern has to fight down now. So remember, Lucindo is only 22. About 4 years younger than Dakota. I'm putting more stock in the younger fighters, because a lot of these fighters are getting old. And you notice the pattern for the women is to retire in their late 30s. I think Roxanne retired at around 40 years old. Carla's currently, I think, 37. I think Carla is like 37. I don't even think she's 38 years old, and she's already retired. Nina Ansaroff, or Nunes. She retired in her late 30s. You can go down the list. Late 30s, that's that tipping point. You just heard Demetrius Johnson last night respond to Pantoja's call out. Said, nope, at 38, I'm done. 38 years old. So we're creeping up to that point where some of these fighters are about to start disappearing, and we're going to have a whole new crop, a bunch of new faces in the division. So, looking forward to the fight. And if Suarez wins, hopefully she can stay healthy and fight at least 2 fights a year for however long she wants to. Now, she said out of her own mouth, she wants to win the title and make a bunch of title defenses. I imagine she's talking about trying to break Joanna's record. Right? We'll see about that. We'll see if she could stay healthy, if she wins the belt, if she can stay healthy enough to do that. Because right now it looks like Weili might be the one to break Joanna's record. Because the division is not as difficult as it was a while ago. Weili could still lose to some of these fighters, but I don't think the division is as formidable. Now, I'm not looking forward to this rematch. Not really looking forward to this rematch. But Amanda Ribas is no joke on the ground. Y'all remember that first fight? She gladly went to the ground with Dern. I think she even took Dern down at one point in that fight. So, yeah, crazy stuff from Amanda Ribas. I'm going to take her again. And one thing I forgot to mention. I think I did mention it, but I want to reemphasize. Dakota might be in the PFL for a long time, man. It's a pattern for fighters to enter UFC around age 30. And with her only being 26, I could easily see her in the PFL for another 4 years. Easily. I know a lot of people say it's not many fights for her. I actually think she might be challenged against Juliana Velasquez. Velasquez has only lost to wrestlers. Every striker Velasquez has fought has lost. Every single one. So that might be a fight they might want to whip together. And I think Velasquez will have a good chance. She's extremely confident against other strikers, Velasquez. And she's a pretty good headhunter. But Dakota has good defense. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to put that fight together because there's not that many fights to make. They better bring Denise Kielholtz from Bellator. They could probably match her up against Denise Kielholtz. Not exciting fights at all, but interesting enough for them. They need somebody. Nobody to match her up against. And this was a viral post as far as comments for WMMA rankings. 99 comments. So a lot of opinions on where she ranks among flyweights in the world, primarily UFC. And there's a number of people who thinks she beat all the fighters in the UFC. And the PFL is going to try to build their whole company on Dakota's back because they're not doing too good. You heard Dana White talk about PFL canceling shows and how they're not doing too good. You heard Patricio Pitbull say that he want to come to UFC, leave Bellator, come to UFC. Even after merging PFL with Bellator, they're still struggling. So I suspect they're going to put all their stock in their company in Dakota Ditcheva. So get ready for that. Might be what's going to be a rather boring future for her, but I expect her to stay with PFL for another 3-4 years. It seemed like a pattern for fighters to come into the UFC around age 30. So we'll see what happens.